Welcome to the Edge Insider Podcast.
Welcome back to the Edge Insider Podcast. I'm Kellyanne Roberts, and I'm here with Alex Superman Johnson. Let's start with that. Where's the Superman? Where's that nickname come from?
It was a nickname given to me in high school. My teacher's favorite superhero was Superman, so she gave it to me, and now it's become my favorite superhero. So I've had it from grade 9 onward till now.
It's even on your Wikipedia page.
Those are the blessings of having it. They say with great responsibility. With great power comes great responsibility. So,
pretty sure that's a Spider-Man quote, but we'll go with it.
Yeah. What's
it like being playing here in St. John's in its inaugural season? It's not the first team you've been with in their inaugural season, though.
Mm-hmm. It's been really I've been really impressed. It's been really amazing playing here. The crowds have been sold out. Just the community's just been amazing. Just the last game we played, because I go to Tim Hortons a lot, and I've been on Tim Hortons about getting a birthday cake donut. It's no more Timbits birthday cake Timbits. Let's get a donut. And one of the fans' moms, she brought me a 50-pack of birthday cake Timbits. So it's like, wow. It's like impressive, just that, they see us in the community, they're reading the Twitters, they're following us on Instagram. So it's like, they're a part of it with us. It's been great.
Is it crazy to feel the impact you're having here on the community?
Oh, most definitely. Just going into grocery stores or, going to the mall, people recognize you. So it's kind of how I was when I was at NC State, where there was a lot of love in the community. People pointing out, oh, that's them. Oh, you guys play for the Edge? Oh, you guys are doing well. So it's been pretty good.
You guys have definitely been doing well. A bit of a struggle this week. How do you feel now going on the road?
As far as I can see, I think we're in a good spot right now, tied or one game back for first place. And I'd rather we lose now and then, kind of refocus and get really ready for playoffs, because that's when it really counts, It really doesn't matter. To me, it really doesn't matter who we play or whether we have home court or not. I'm going to play hard regardless. So when playoffs start, it's a whole new ball game. It's a whole new season. So, this is a good time for us to, get acclimated with the players that we've got now and really make that push for the championship or going into the playoffs.
This could potentially be a preview of what's to come in the playoffs facing Windsor here now. You guys have been a bit hot and cold with them all season. What can we expect this week?
Doug has been doing a really good job with the scouting report, and I hope we just lock in and just stay focused. That's the biggest thing. I feel like when we're focused and we're locked in, that's when we're really good. I feel like when we kind of lose focus or we're kind of relaxed, that's when we start. We had that loss to London a couple nights ago. That's when we're unfocused. We're too relaxed. We're kind of just going through the motions. But I feel like when we're focused, locked in, that's when we're really at our best.
All right. Switching gears a little bit here, your family's here with you in St. John's?
No. My wife was here, and she had to go back to Romania. She's playing her season over there.
What's that like, both of you playing professional basketball?
It's been a different ordeal. This past summer we were in Hong Kong together, playing together, so that was pretty much more enjoyable because you have your significant other with you at all times. This is kind of tougher just because I like her to cook meals when I'm tired coming from practice, or I like to go out to the movies with her, have date night. But now it's kind of like it's just a lot of FaceTime dates and just kind of trying to understand the time difference. She's 6 hours ahead, so it's kind of tough on her. She'll be up till like 4 a.m. trying to watch my game, and her games are a little bit too early for me. So it's tough. It's tough with the balance, but we're trying to make it work and make the best out of the situation. I told her like I never want to hold her back from her dreams, and her dream was playing professional basketball. So I was okay with her going and doing that.
You know, I gotta ask, who's the better player?
Oh, definitely me. She knows it. I'll give her. She thinks she's a better shooter than me, but I'll give her that. But I'm definitely a better player. I'm more complete.
You proposed to her in a pretty interesting way. Can you just explain to everybody how that went down?
Um, it was actually a conversation I had with one of the AAU moms. I was coaching the AAU team, and we were trying to figure out what would be the best way to do it. And she had suggested that I do something like a 5-on-5, and it kind of gave me the idea because we always play 1-on-1 because she's so competitive. She wants to win everything. She wants to be the best at everything. So she's let's play 1-on-1. Let's play 1-on-1. So that kind of just popped into my head like, hey, this would be a good idea right here. And I set it up where I was like, I was gonna score 2 points on her, and then I was gonna fake the last one and propose. So it turned out exactly as as I had envisioned it. God works in mysterious ways. So just him just putting everything together, and for it to just be in my mind, and then for it to go exactly to go exactly how I was planned. So that was pretty good.
You caught it all on video too, and I think the last time I looked, over 3 million views on it.
Yeah, that's the blessing. It's it's crazy what I'll say it again. It's crazy what God can do. Just um, my friend from California, he had come up and he had just put like a snippet of it on Twitter, and he was like, "Hey, this it's only been half an hour, but this has gotten 500 retweets." I was like, "What?" I was like, "Let's put the whole video up on YouTube." And after that, my phone was just blowing up like crazy. Like it was like really chaos. Like me and my wife had to turn our phones off for a couple of days. That's how bad it was.
I guess a bit more than you had expected there.
Yeah, so it kind of gave us a glimpse of what NBA and WNBA players go through with just like the notifications and people hitting you up, and it was pandemonium. Like I remember the exact after I had proposed, like 2 days later, me and her went to New York. I took my AAU team to New York for a tournament, and it was like pandemonium there too. Like fans were like, "Hey man, you're the guy that proposed." I was like, "This is so crazy!" Like, but it was enjoyable. I really enjoyed it, and just to see it continue to grow, like it's still on people's Instagrams, it's still on people's Facebooks. People are still saying it's going strong, and it's crazy. It's been like 2.5 years now, so
I guess love never dies.
yeah, guess not.
Back to the edge here, though. You guys have had an impressive season so far. Nothing you're not unusual to, though. You were first overall draft in 2013, first Canadian to be drafted. What was that like?
It was an interesting story because I definitely was not supposed to be there. I had just tried out for a D League team, and I made that the D League team. We were just waiting on my visa, my work visa, to go over there, and then the government shut down that year. The U.S. government had shut down for a couple of days or a week or something like that. So, and I ended up going to the combine for the NBL just to watch. And my friend had said, "Hey man, I need you to make me look good. Here, put this jersey on." I ended up playing, and like I was on nobody's roster list or anything. I ended up playing in the All Star game, and they're like, "Hey, we want you to come to the draft," and that's pretty much how it happened. So it was kind of unusual how it happened.
A little bit, and now you're here in St. John's.
Yeah, so it's been. I like this spot. If there's, I said it. Orangeville was really good to me. It was sad to see them fold, but I really like it here in St. John's. I thought, being a first year expansion team that they're really pulling out all the stops. Just, I got to give props to our marketing team, our media team being on top of it, social media. People see the edge and they're like, man, you guys have it all together, man. It just, from the outside looking in, it just looks great. And I was like, man, like, I've been a part of a first year with the Ottawa Skyhawks, and they were nowhere close to what St. John has done. So definitely have to applaud the people behind working for the Edge.
Yeah, what's it been like having players come and go all season? It seems like the roster's pretty much finalized now. What's the chemistry like in the room and these new guys coming in?
I think definitely we definitely upgraded and made some really good moves and some really good pieces now. I think the biggest thing for us is just finding time to practice. You know, with our schedule, we haven't had like some real time to really sit down and just go at it with each other. So I'm hoping in the coming weeks that we'll be able to practice, get guys in different positions, and get guys to know the offense and get guys to really just gel together. I think that's the biggest thing for us. A couple of guys have just come in and they've done a really good job just adapting to the situation. For example, Xavier, came in and he was player of the game, one of those games that we played, and he was playing out of position. So, you just have to applaud guys like that who are just quick to adapt to situations. So, imagine when they've practiced with us for a couple weeks and learned the offense in and out, and I think we're going to be really hard to stop and really hard to beat.
Is it nice to know you clinched playoffs about a week and a half now ago, and to know you have this breathing room to prepare? Does that help?
Yeah, most definitely. I think right now is the biggest thing. I think our team is focused on getting that number one seed. But if not, I mean, I think now guys are starting to gear down a little bit and really start to say, hey, focus on our bodies, make sure we're ready for playoffs. Because when you get to playoffs, it's a whole new season. Yeah, clinching playoffs was cool, but we're not here to just clinch the playoffs. We're here to actually compete and fight for a championship. So
We'll be back after this with Russell Byrd.
The Edge Insider Podcast. We'll be right back.
We are Imaging by Guido. We are an entertainment marketing production house.
We are a collective of audio, video, graphic, and web designers.
We make radio ads, TV ads, web videos, graphics, and website design and creation for sports and entertainment events.
See our work and make contact at ibgrocks.com.
Affordable creative marketing tools. We are Imaging by Guido.
Welcome back to the Edge Insider Podcast.
Welcome back to the Edge Insider Podcast. I'm here with Russell Byrd. How's it feel to be in Canada? You're not from Canada originally.
No, it feels great, first of all. I was here last year playing in this league, but this is being here in Newfoundland and St. John's is a whole new experience and one that me and my family have enjoyed greatly thus far.
Your family is here with you, and from what I've heard from everybody, you have the cutest kids alive.
Yeah, you can thank my wife for that. Obviously, she thank goodness they look more like her and not me. But yeah, we have been blessed with two very beautiful, healthy kids that we're grateful for, and people here have been great to them. And obviously, the organization has provided us with a comfortable living situation, and I had no complaints as far as that goes. Couldn't be happier.
What's it like to have them here with you while you play?
You know what? Last year they were there with me in Moncton as well, and that was quite a learning experience trying to figure out how to balance everything. And this year's been, seems to be a lot easier. It is a challenge. It has its challenges, as anybody would expect. But got to thank my wife for holding it down most of the time and taking care of not only me but them as well. And so yeah, you got to have a good teammate to help make things work as far as that goes.
Is it weird playing and seeing them right after, or is that part of the transition?
No, it's if anything, it helps. Especially when you struggle or things aren't going as well as you like them to. Seeing them after the game, definitely, you forget about all that pretty quickly.
Tough to say that's been happening here this year. Pretty remarkable season in the inaugural season here with the St. John's Edge. How does that feel coming in, knowing the team's doing so well and you're already heading into playoffs?
Yeah, it's I knew when I got traded here that I was heading into a really good situation with a really good group of guys, and I've just wanted to help out where I can, and obviously these guys and these coaches have done a great job at getting to where they've gotten. And hopefully, we can, finish the deal and bring a championship to St. John's.
What was the trade process like? You kind of had to uproot everything and move to St. John's. That had to be a little difficult.
It was, yeah. We after last year, we were considering going back to Moncton, but the opportunity came up to where we could be 3 hours from home there in Kitchener-Waterloo or in Waterloo, and so it was nice to be close to home. And we had a nice house, and the kids had gotten used to the area and their new home, and so uprooting and coming out here was a bit of an adjustment. Put a lot of stress on the wife, but we took care of it, and obviously coming out here with these people and how welcoming and how nice they are, makes that transition a whole lot easier, and we're very happy and grateful to be out here.
Is there much of a difference between Kitchener-Waterloo, I guess, the fan base and the community involvement than there is to the St. John's Edge? Because the fans here have totally embraced the Edge. Yeah,
they have 100%. Like I said, I was in this league last year and got to see a lot of different places, and then obviously being in KW. Nothing against anybody else, but this is by far the best fan base in the league, and I think other cities, other teams, organizations are doing what they can to build, gain traction and build support. But seems like St. John's got the secret sauce up here, and they've done a heck of a job, creating the fan base, and the players and the coaches have done a good job of putting a great product on the floor. And big thanks and shout out to our owners who have done quite a bit to make everything happen.
How is your game growing from last year in this league till now? Because this is going to be a big season for the Edge here, looking at a championship. It wasn't just making playoffs, it was winning it all.
Yeah. Last year, I think my role is a little bit different than last year. I'm just, right now I'm just trying to do whatever I can to help the team and help, like you said, bring a championship to the city, and to be able to go 12 deep, not a lot of teams can do that. A lot of teams, only have 6, 7, maybe 8 guys that they can rely on, but we have 12 to 14 guys that could play on any given night. So we just got a lot of options, and the coaches, I think it's a good problem to have, and I'm sure that they'll figure out the right combination as we come down the stretch here of players, and doing what we got to do to get a win, because that's the most important thing.
Being able to go 12 deep, how stressful is that for you then? Because that means there are 6 other guys, 11 other guys, vying for that spot.
It is difficult. I mean, this is our job. This is our livelihood, and some of us have families, that we're trying to support. But at the end of the day, when you're part of a team and part of an organization, doing what we're trying to do, it's just about winning, and you do whatever you got to do to help the team win. And you got to bring your best from an individual standpoint. You got to be able to bring your best game to the court every time you're out there. And when you can't do that, there's going to be another guy who gets a chance. And so, like I said earlier, to have that quote unquote problem as coaches isn't necessarily a bad thing. And it is stressful, but at the end of the day, it's about winning. And if we can bring a championship, back to the city here in St. John's, that only helps all 14 guys.
You guys are headed on the road here for the last road trip of the regular season. Facing the Windsor Express, this could potentially be a preview of the first round of playoffs. How do you guys feel going into this week?
It's a big week for us. We're hoping that that London will falter. One, hopefully twice, but that only just puts pressure on us to take care of business every game, these last 5 games here. So going into Windsor, we've seemed to have their number this whole season, and we just got to carry on and execute and follow the game plan and come ready to play when we play them, and send a message if we do see them in the first round that they got to worry a whole lot more about us than we do need to worry about them.
Bit of a collapse in this last game now, heading on to the road trip. What are you taking from this last game?
Just execution. I think a lot of times, especially against London, London does this to a lot of teams. They let teams, I don't know about but the game is tight, and teams seem to hang around, and then London will give you one big knockout punch, and we got to be able to withstand their punch and their knockout punch, and not fall apart like we have so many times in the third quarter. So just execution and sticking to the game plan and being tough mentally, physically to withstand any run that a team makes on us there in the third or fourth quarter and be able to bounce back and finish the game.
I guess that comes back to the team itself, and looking at the team right now, it looks like a pretty solid finalized roster here. Some late moves. How do you feel about the guys that have come in?
Oh man, we've having Stover come in, who's been in the league this is his third year now. I played against him a lot last year. He's just a super long, lanky rim defender who can change shots and change the game for us. And we're looking. I think he's been hurt these last few games, so it'd be nice to get him in there and see what he can do. Xavier's been a huge addition. Obviously, he's an incredible athlete, rebounds, finishes, runs, can defend. Be able to use him, a lot down the stretch here. And Colton, he's been looking really good in practice. I know he was here from the beginning and had that injury, but he's looked really, really good in practice this last month. So I'm sure that hoping he gets a chance here down the stretch. And, I think everybody else has shown what they can do. And so the additions they made were great, and just got to, find the right combination of 12 guys and, from game to game. And then those 12 guys got to go out there, execute and do their job and win the game.
Well, thanks for joining us, Russell. Hopefully we'll be back before the playoffs begin here in St. John's. For the Edge Insider, I'm Kellyanne Roberts.
Thanks for listening to the Edge Insider Podcast.